Welcome to another video, and in this one we've got a 127 kill game with the MP34 SMG in the Medic class on Devastation Conquest. So stick around in this video. As always, if you are accustomed to this series by now, I'm going to talk through this gun in particular, the pros, its cons, how to use it, of course how I'm using it on this map, how I am playing on this map in general, and how you can therefore go and get a 100 plus kill game with this gun or on this map in Conquest. So the MP34, a gun which I've placed in my top 5 underrated weapons video for Battlefield 5, and a gun which you know a lot of people will not use simply because of that low fire rate, and people deem it not to be meta, which of course it is not meta, however it is extremely underrated. This gun actually excels in a lot of different areas and is very beneficial in a lot of different areas. Of course, the standard 32 round magazine size competes with the majority of any of the other guns, except of course for those high fire rate guns such as the Sumi, the Tommy gun or the Type 2A, which can hold up to 50 rounds. But it is the standard amount of ammo to have, you know, for all of the other SMGs, so it's not losing out in that area. And when you also factor in the fact that the 32 rounds coming from a slow fire rate gun, but it hits hard with high damage, it means that, you know, your maximum kill potential with those 32 rounds, as long as you're accurate with it, is very, very high as well. And so what do you get overall? You get a slow fire rate, which means high accuracy, but you've got a good magazine size, which therefore gives a good maximum kill potential per magazine size. And of course, you've also got just an all-round accurate gun as it is anyway, which means although you're firing less bullets per minute than a Type 2A, a Sumi or a Tommy gun, you are going to be hitting more bullets per minute or per second, however you want to view it. And so this gun actually kills quicker than its actual base TTK statistic, which you might have looked at online. So all round, it is quite a solid gun. The main concern, of course, is it's an SMG, which is meant to be used normally in close range. However, this one is pretty good up to all different types of ranges, mainly because of that, well, slow fire rate, high accuracy. However, you'll see a couple of times in this video and in previous videos with this gun, the tap fire, of course, is very, very good. So that allows it to be much more effective at range. But the main concern with this gun, of course, is its close range ability. And therefore, people think there's no point in using it because an SMG is meant to be used in close range, and you're just going to lose gunfights all the time against those high fire rate SMGs like I mentioned previously. So let me debunk why it's actually not as bad in close range as you would think. You can see the crosshairs there are really close together. It has great hip fire and therefore great hip fire accuracy because of how close those crosshairs are together. And you'll see in 1, 2, even 3 clips in this video, I'm taking enemies on point blank range, hip firing, and because of the hip fire accuracy being so high, I'm able to hit more bullets than enemies using a Type 2A, a Tommy gun, etc, etc. And therefore I'm able to win the gunfights in close range, even though I've got a very inferior rate of fire. So not only is the hip fire therefore very good, which makes it much better to maintain accuracy in close range, you've also got the bayonet attachment, which again you'll see me use a few times in a few clips in this video. If you know an enemy with a high fire rate gun is going to engage you or is close by, you're more than welcome, more than easy enough to use the bayonet charge to completely go into the, you know, the melee kill animation and stop them firing, increasing your speed and just taking them by surprise. So this can be used multiple times. If you run out of ammo, it's also an additional help to be able to go to that bayonet. You know, so all round, it's got good hip fire accuracy and the bayonet, which can, you know, it can get you out of so many sticky situations in close range. So it's not as ineffective at close range as most people think. And then you get the all-round benefits of everything I've said previously. And lastly, you can see here I've gone with a Lati sight, I think it's called. This or the iron sight are the 2 preferred choices for me. The normal reflex or red dot sight is a bit too zoomed out, and the glint, or, you know, this on the scope can block the vision of a lot of different enemies, especially on those maps where it's a bit lighter with more sun. So Devastation, as I've said in multiple previous videos, but of course for the purpose of this series I will say again and again and again, so it's much more easier to understand and to follow. If you want to get the 100 kill game on this map, of course you need to find the amount of enemies you need to see throughout the entirety of a game to be able to actually hit 100 kills. And if you want to do that on Devastation, you need to be playing around C flag, which is directly in the center of the map in the church, or you'll see in multiple clips again in this video over towards D flag. These are the two main power positions or areas with the highest amount of flow. Other flags like A are too far out of the way and is a spawn flag. The same with E, and B as well is a bit further to get to from C flag than D flag, as well as B flag being a 3-story library where there's so many dark corners that enemies can hide in, and different levels. Like I said, 3-story library where if an enemy is on any of those levels, they can easily just hide from you, and you have to waste a lot of time to be able to run up and down those levels to find the enemies and kill them. Whereas D here is just one big open box, and you can kill a lot of the enemies from that main power position or power route, which I've talked about before, in between D and C flag. So that's where all those clips in this video are. It's me staying on C flag and D flag. C flag is a flag where enemies have to go through to go to any of the other flags around it. As well as you then patrolling C flag in the center of the map, if enemies get any of the other flags, like D flag, you've got a short distance to run to any of the flags around it if you're always maintaining and keeping yourself at the center of the map. Whereas if you're always going to B flag and the enemies suddenly have D flag, you're now running 2 or 3 times the amount of distance to go from B to D than you are just from C to any of the flags around it. Which is why you want to centralize yourself on this map and only push to the other flags when needed. Because even if you're holding this flag, the enemies are going to come to C flag to capture it. And if the enemies have C flag, like you can see here, they're going to be constantly spawning on it to be able to keep it from you. Which is what I'm doing in this clip here, being one of my only team on the flag. But the enemies are going to keep spawning around the flag, and I'm just going to keep picking up as many kills as I possibly can. And because the flag here, C flag, is so big, when the enemies spawn, they have absolutely no idea, or it's so hard for them to locate where you are on the flag because of how big it is. Which, as long as you're being quiet and not constantly firing all the time, then of course you can get loads of easy kills by attacking the flag. And so that is kind of the gist of using the MP34 as well as playing on this map. You'll see in the following clip in the next few seconds an example of me taking on 3 to 4 enemies with the hipfire in close range. Of course, Devastation not having has as high a level of enemy player anymore, because as you will know, most of the high level players are just playing that Almage underground rotation, but at the end of the day you've got to play what's in the game and what's in front of you. And yeah, so you can see in a second taking on right here 2 enemies in hipfire, taking them by surprise, but you can see how close the crosshairs are together there, maintaining high accuracy and therefore getting the kills, even though most people think that this gun is disadvantageous or inferior in those close range engagements. So yeah, there's 1 minute left of this video. I know this video has been the first video in over a month. I've been extremely busy with work and other commitments, and I needed a break. It's BF5 for the last 4 years now, but I'll try keep the videos coming now again weekly as much as I can, and potentially I will also continue doing the 50 kill Battlefield 2042 videos if you guys would like that. I know the views aren't as good because my audience is for Battlefield 5, but I think at this point I should just post whatever I think is good and what is for fun, so I think I might do that. But yeah, please smash a like on this video. Hopefully my commentary has been good. It's been a month since I've done a video, so I'm a bit rusty, but yeah, so I will see you guys on the next video.